we need to talk about some more issues because government is racing against time to reconstruct dozens of homes destroyed in Appiatse weeks after the explosion there. Fortunately, we have the chairperson of the Support Fund Committee, Madam Joyce Rosalind Aye, who is joining us this afternoon. It's such a pleasure to be seeing you in studio. In spite of your busy schedule, you're making time to talk to the nation on this. But we know that it's been more than 3 weeks after your committee was outdoored by the sector minister. You've met the president as well. How hard or otherwise has it been for you trying to raise funds to support these
I think the enthusiasm is there. The enthusiasm is there. And we're quite happy that people are paying, you know, a little. Let me show you what we have from Ghana Commercial Bank. And this is just people bringing in a little at a time. Now, where is it? I'm trying to find it, but there it is. You know, they have this statement, and you can see a little at a time, but it's coming in. It's coming in. Now, we have, yesterday, for example, we had the Kesben Outreach Foundation giving us 50,000. The president has given 100,000. We're expecting some tomorrow. Pelangio has given us the equivalent of the equivalent of $10,000.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. And then we have Minerals Commission also pledging 2 million. So gradually.
By and large, it's been a good
I think it's fairly good, and we are actually looking forward to stations like yours to tell people to give. Nobody's asking anyone to give what they don't have, but just the little they have, they can share it with
little
others.
Drops of water.
Yes, they say make mighty ocean.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's it.
But initially, when the incident occurred, we were having difficulties in actually getting a picture of how many people have been really displaced or affected as a result of this. I'm sure that at that stage as well, it was a difficulty for your committee. Do you have a clear picture now of how many people you're having to make provision for?
There is another committee dealing with the details of that. And I look forward to them coming here to give you a picture of what they have. There's the Reconstruction Committee. So they would know the number of households that have been affected and how they're going to make sure that they provide housing and livelihoods for these people. Interesting, today somebody called me and said he's a commercial person selling certain goods and so on. He's wondering what was going to happen to him. But if he had a building there, I guess those two will be taken care of.
I'm asking that because we know that obviously that should drive your target as well for you to know how much you're targeting.
So we are
expecting working with right now. In terms of
yesterday the Reconstruction Committee, after going there on site to check everything, had their first meeting to look at some of these details. I think within a week they will be able to come out with exactly how much we're going to do. But I can assure you, it's not going to be small money. It's not going to be small money because with the mining background I have, when you have to resettle people, it does take a lot of money because it's not only houses. You're going to have to do roads. You're going to put in other utilities like water, electricity, and so on. The president would like to see a green city, eco-sustainable. So that too, you're going to have to do solar panels and stuff like that. That too comes at a cost. So.
We know, just initially you were talking about the need for more and more people to come on board. What strategies are you adopting to get more people to support the fund?
One of the strategies is having a chat with you and hoping that beyond our chat, you would take up the matter and maybe you have something called a crawler. You can crawl. Yes, you can crawl the information, the Appiatse Support Fund, and make a contribution towards it, and so on. Another strategy is actually to write to corporate organizations and businesses and ministries and embassies and so on. We're also hoping to have access to some of these international organizations who are ready to support people that have to deal with disasters. So we're hoping that we'll be able to reach out to them and that we'll get some out of them. We are hoping to reach also Ghanaians in the diaspora who will help us. So the banks that we've chosen, that is Ghana Commercial Bank and Stanbic Bank, they have short codes and GHQR. You can see I'm not doing it.
The QR code.
The QR code, right. Yes. I don't know how to do it. I better learn very fast.
You get used to it very soon. Very, very soon.
Yes.
Right.
So we're using that. We also have a website, and on a corner on the website, you have donate, and some people have been donating to that as well.
Right.
Yes.
A couple of days ago, the National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO, was complaining about how in the interim, a lot of people are not even willing to come to the community and at least support with some relief items that could keep the victims for a while before this major fund comes through with the help.
Yeah. With the housing.
Precisely. Have you been to the community? Do you have that same feeling as well?
Well, the thing is, the relief, I think the initial rush to send relief items maybe has waned a little. But this morning, a lady came to me and she has clothing that she wants to contribute. There's a school that wants to contribute school materials, which we're going to receive and send, so that we draw a distinction between the relief that people need and the amount of money that is needed for the reconstruction. We don't want to mix that up, because if we do, we probably will never be able to reconstruct. But I think we'll talk also about the relief. People should continue. The MC was saying that they have enough food items, but it's not just food that they require. So we'll have a chat with him, and then as part of our fundraise, we'll have to determine where the relief should go, because we don't want to add it to the funds we are raising, so we don't get mixed up. So we'll do that.
Well, we don't have all of the time, but as part of the mandates, as read by the sector minister, you are entreated to also be transparent with the funds that you raise.
Yes.
We've heard reports about the president giving out some 100,000 Ghana cedis.
Yes, it's gone into the bank.
It's gone into the account as well. But the concern obviously out there would be about whether or not you're in a position now to tell us how much you've raised and whether or not you're inching closer and closer to the target.
Oh, no, we haven't set any target, you remember. We haven't set any target yet because we're waiting for the reconstruction team to give us what they have. Oh, I forgot to say that today we collected 50,000 CDs from the Chinese embassy. They called us to come and collect it. So it's coming up gradually. But as I mentioned that we have a pledge of 2 million from the Minerals Commission. We have 100,000 paid by the president. We have 61,000, the equivalent of $10,000 paid by Pelangio. Yesterday we received 50,000, which we're paying to the bank. So when you add it up, I know we have about, actually paid in, we have about 68,000 at the Ghana Commercial Bank and about 150,000 at Stanbic, but we still have this 50 we've collected both yesterday and today.
The big one we're expecting is from Maxam. I understand there was a directive from the president asking Maxam to make the other damages, the charge of $5 million
to be assigned to the reconstruction.
Yes. Have you taken?
No, they haven't given us the money. They haven't given us the money.
Will that take time? Or?
I'm sure it will. But then remember, we need to know how long the reconstruction is going to take. I hope it won't take too long. So the reconstruction, we'll make sure that the reconstruction committee has funds to work with. So 5 million of the 6 million is assigned for the reconstruction. Yes, that's what. But it's not in cash. I wish it were.
So you can take.
You can see the way my hands are going.
Definitely. We need to go, but obviously there are victims who are watching us now, and also Ghanaians who are out there, obviously waiting on you to share your last messages with them.
Well, what I'd like to say to those who are victims is that this is a terrible, terrible incident that nobody anticipated. The trauma must be very great, even for those who didn't incur any injuries. Even the sheer sound of the explosion would be terrible, and I know people will be having nightmares. But what can one say except to ask everybody to continue to do whatever they can as victims to make life better one day at a time. And for those out there who have the means to bring relief to these victims, to make them available as much as possible. I know some people want to give cement, some people want to give iron rods, and so on and so. And for those who probably are waiting for signs before they give, please let's start giving now. It doesn't matter how little. In Chi, we are saying, Obian Chiebi. Let everyone contribute. I'm going to ask for yours.
In Ebe.
Oh yes, yes, I'm a siame.
Nejo, nanu vide.
Nejo, vide. A little, listen to it. Vide is a little. But I'm going to take money from you personally.
Yeah.
Yes. Towards it.
After we sell the frames, the frames you were talking about.
Oh, why are you going to buy new frames?
Yes, I should get a new one so we can take this off, get some money, and contribute to the fund. But anyway, yes. We're so grateful that you've been able to join us. But please ask the Reconstruction Committee to also come and have a chat, because I'm sure they'll have some wonderful things to say. So crawl for us. And then tell your friends. It doesn't matter how much you have. People, you can see that some people are even paying 5 CDs and so on. Right. Any amount at all.
Any amount at all. Right. And if you make it consistently, that too would help.
We're grateful.
Yes.
Joyce Rosalind is the chairperson of the Appiatse Support Fund. When we return, we'll talk about the Catholic Bishops' Conference. They've been speaking about the controversial subject of the electronic transactions levy. This is The Pulse. Stay with us.